we were like Bonnie and Clyde. Things just went from bad to worse when we both started drinking. I mean, I was always drinking, but she started drinking and it was just insanity. It was, I mean, this woman would fight anybody. I've seen her knock out dudes one punch, and she had a violent streak, which didn't help my situation because I was, you know, I had a lot of rage at that time. And so she would fight dudes, cops, old people in wheelchairs, cats, dogs. She didn't care. She just, so it was quite a handful. Anyway, I was in county jail, and so that meant she was out there on her own, alone. And some man attacked her and tried to rape her. And she fought him the best that she could, and then she started running. She ran around a corner, grabbed a crutch out of the trash can, and started whacking this guy with a crutch. And right then, the cops turn the corner, and they see her beating a man with a crutch. So she got arrested. He testified against her. She ended up in prison for 1.5 years. And so I get out of county jail. You know, the streets are an incredible network for news. You talk to anybody and everybody's talking about what recently happened. So as soon as I got out, the first person I ran into, they said, "Hey, did you hear what happened to Tina?" And I said, "No, what?" They said Scotty attacked her, tried to rape her, and she tried to defend herself, and she got arrested for assault and battery and all this other crap. So
didn't she claim that it was self-defense?
Right, she claimed that it was self-defense, but this guy's, you know, he's homeless, alcoholic, crackhead. So in that world, anything goes. And the circumstances where the police saw what they saw when they turned the corner, Tina was defending herself with a crutch, beating this guy. So that's what they witnessed. So he just went along with that story. It's not he attacked her. He was defending himself, and everybody knew Tina had a crazy reputation for, you know, smacking on people. So the irony of this is the one time that she was actually defending herself, she got persecuted for this crime, and it sent her to prison for the first time. So she was in Chowchilla. They sent her to the women's prison. The police were already looking for me before I even found this guy, because they knew what was going to happen. I was such a local in that area. They said, well, as soon as Wolf gets out, he's going to go tear this guy a new asshole. And so they didn't catch me before I caught them. I actually saw one cop before I got a hold of Scotty, and he said, "Wolf, don't do it. If you do it, you're going to go right where she's going. That's not going to help anything." And I couldn't hear a word he said. And I had people, you know, telling me, "You see this guy, you come, let me in, and I'll hook you up. I'll take care of you." So this guy comes up on a bicycle, and he says, "Hey, Wolf, Scotty's down there by the, you know, boardwalk right now." Because he was hiding out from me. He knew that I was looking for him. And so, like myself, that attraction to the boardwalk, even though you know either the police or somebody's looking for you, there was that lure to come back to that energy, whatever it is down there, that strange thing that goes on at night down there. Anyway, so he was down there, so he told me that. I threw a dude off his bike, jumped on his bike, pedaled down there, and sure enough, there he was. So I kind of disregarded everything. I just went straight up to him, started beating on him, and these guys tried to stop me, so I beat on them.
Did you say anything to him at first?
Not one word. Not one word. He knew exactly what it was all about. He started running the other way the minute he saw me. And these guys he brought to try and, you know, look out for him, they didn't do such a good job. They ran off after we started tangling it up. I actually got some pretty good licks because these two guys were pretty big, and So when I'm trying to get to him, I got to deal with these guys first. So when I did finally get these guys to, back off, I could chase him down the street, and I got a hold of him, and it was just me and him all alone. And I put some boots to him, and I really hurt that man. And I thought I did kill him because I was drunk enough to, I don't know, it's just, in those days when my rage came out, it was like, there's this saying that you're never really upset for the things that you think you are. So every other kind of pain and hurt came up to release it on this guy. And like if it was some kind of, something that would cleanse me or something, I don't know, it never does. But yeah, he knew there was no words that needed to be said. He knew what he had coming, and the only words coming out of him was, "Wolf, stop, don't, I'm sorry." I didn't want to hear any of that. And
so what were his actual injuries?
he had broken ribs, a broken arm, his head got cracked, teeth were knocked in. Somebody said he had a broken nose, I don't know, but there was just, I was hitting him on every part of his body that could be hit. And at one point I heard a rib crack, and I think he broke his arm trying to block some things, but both of his eyes were they were already swelling up before I got done beating him. And when a boxer gets a thing right there, their eyebrow starts coming over. And so my hand actually got infected because when I knocked his teeth out, the saliva from human mouth is got to be one of the dirtiest things that it's got the most bacteria. So when I got arrested, I told them I got an injury. It's like due to a tooth that I knocked out. So they actually cut the wound open again and scrub it out with Benadine and everything, but it still got infected. But so yeah, he was not in a good way when I left him. And
so was an ambulance called?
Oh yeah.
Did you hear
Yeah.
how long he was in the hospital? Or?
I heard he was in there for like 2 weeks, and so I got away for a couple of days, and I ran back to Santa Monica, started partying over there, and thinking, now they're really after you now, and you can't go back to Venice. And so, like I said, that network of homeless people, they go from one beach to the other, talking about this, that, and the other thing, telling what happened. So, yeah, I heard he stayed in the hospital for quite a while, so he looked pretty good to me when he testified. He was still wrapped up and had things, but he was, in those days, if you could stand up and turn your head left and right, people tell you look fine. Come on, let's go.